Hey, good evening, everyone. How's it going? This is Michelle Ship here. I'm the business page owner of Wham Solutions with Michelle Ship here on Facebook. Thanks for joining me and happy Monday. I'm coming to you today doing a Facebook Live challenge. Today is actually day one. I'm super excited and pumped with my team and a lot of people in the community within my organization who are actually doing this Facebook Live challenge. It's going to be a 7-day challenge and today's day one. So I had a pocket of time in the midst of my busy Monday, the beginning of the month, about to jump on a webinar that I host shortly after this. But I did want to make sure I came here today to serve you guys and to help you with growing your home business in network marketing. So if you're joining us here live or if you're seeing the replay, go ahead and comment below and say hello so I know that you're here. It'd be great to see you. And so today we're going to be talking about the importance of meeting your team where they are when they get started in their home business and also as they are growing within their business. And so my question for you guys is, do you ever feel a little bit frustrated and really wondering why your team is not being super motivated and so much on top of their game like you are? Are you constantly trying to kind of pick your brain saying, why are they not producing as strongly and so super excited and pumped like you are? So we're going to be talking about that a little bit more in depth. I think this message is really going to help you. So basically, when we get started, someone in our home business here in network marketing, what I usually like to do is shortly after training, I definitely like to sit with them and have a goal strategy, a goal session, talking about goals, talking about strategies to kickstart their business when they get launched and all of that. And I just really like to dig deep and learn, definitely make a stronger connection with that new, consultant or distributor, whatever you call in your company, and just really try to learn more about them. What's their bag? What are they about? What's their whole reason why and their purpose? What is their vision for their business and actually why are they going to get started? And just so that you have some understanding of what's going to push them to propel their business forward. And then also setting out goals for them, especially for the first 30 days and longer. And then once you have that meeting right after training has been completed, just really trying to determine what type of action taker this new consultant or distributor representative is going to be, right? Because everyone doesn't fit the same mold. There's different types of individuals with different desire levels and different actions that people will take. So you're just really trying to identify what type of new, I'll say consultant, what is this new consultant going to bring to the table? What type of action are they going to apply? And how serious are they? How much time can they devote? All of this comes into play when you're really trying to understand exactly the amount of effort they're going to put into their home business. And so what I've learned through a recent training that I attended with Calvin, I think the last name is Bursetta, he's an industry leader, he was sharing about there's 4 degrees of action that most home business owners take, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more in depth. So first thing is the first degree of action is actually the people that are on your team that actually are not doing much. There's a big population of people that actually get started, but they don't really do much. They have lots of excuses of why they actually can't work. Maybe they're having excuses of why they're not getting results. It could be, time could be an issue, health could be an issue, something. They always have some type of, it seems like almost really good excuse of why they can't work, and they're always sharing that information with you. That's the person who actually doesn't really do much of anything. That's the first degree of action. The second degree of action is moving it up, is the people who actually go into retreat. The people who actually get scared and frightened right after they get started, like, oh my God, I just invested into this home business. What do I do now? They just like, like that emoji. So they're actually, they get scared and they're frozen and they don't know what to do. And then they have these thoughts, they start thinking about lots of stuff and they're not moving, And when I always say that when you don't take action, doubt and fear creeps in. So we need to push through that, push through that resistance and just jump in, because activity is a cure for all things. So instead of that, they're sitting there and they're thinking about stuff, and the first thing they're thinking about is, okay, what will happen if I actually do start doing the do and building my business, and I put in all this time and effort, but what happens if I fail after that? What happens then? So they think about that scenario. And then they often think of another scenario saying, okay, what if I actually do this business, I put in all this time and effort, and then I become successful and I get great results? What if? So they have all these what ifs. And those two what ifs are actually basically what's holding them back from actually moving forward, because they're just thinking, they're all up in the mind, they're not actually in the game, you know? So they have all these what if scenarios, and they don't really feel that they know exactly how to carry that out. Because say, for instance, someone actually does do the business and they're successful, then what happens then? They get a lot of recognition. Some people can't handle success. They can't handle being in the spotlight. And so because they know once they become successful and they move up in levels and leadership, what does that mean? You have a team that's looking up to you for guidance, for leadership, for coaching. So then they get a little bit nervous, like, oh my God, I have a team now, I have to train them and coach them. And then maybe once my name is out in the spotlight, maybe I'm going to be invited to be, a guest speaker and all these conference calls and webinars, and I'm going to have to put myself really out there. So they continue to play small, and they don't actually do what they don't live up to their potential, because there's so much more greatness in them, but they're shy and they're just holding it in. They hold themselves back. Because they think of all these scenarios and what if, okay? So that's another degree of action. So there was actually a woman on my team, actually, I remember at one time, she mentioned to me, we were talking about moving up to the first level in rank and all the things that's needed to get there, and I was helping to coach her, and I feel like she really wanted it inside, but her body was not really, doing the do. And then one time she was just being very honest. She said, Michelle, I don't know if I do reach that first level in rank, I don't know if I want to lead a team. Do I have to be out there? Do I actually have to put my picture out there? Do I need to do all of these things? And, so that's real, guys. This is what holds a lot of people back, is that fear of success or the fear of failure as well. Okay, so that's one level. Another level, the third type of action taker here is basically the general population. I'd say a lot of the people, 90% of the population of your team, are the ones who are actually, yes, they're engaged in the business here and there. They may dibble dabble a little bit in their business, and there's some that really step up a little bit more, so I would say 90% of them, they actually do get started. They do get started with the training. They go through all the modules and steps and things like that. They do, as they're upline and, cross lines, advise them. So they are in the game, but they're still holding themselves back. There's so much more that they can do, but they just don't do it. They're just plain average, just getting by, just sliding by with doing the bare minimum. But sometimes that bare minimum is just not enough for them. Then they complain and say, this is not working. And they say, I need to get results faster. I've been in the business 1 year, 2 years, 3 years or more, and they're wondering why they're not getting better results. They may have in their mind that slow and steady wins the race. And yes, that is true at some point in time. But if you honestly inside want to have bigger success, like bigger amount of results, you need to actually 10 times your action to get 10 times the results. So yes, being with the 90% is okay, and just doing the slow and steady wins the race is okay. But if inside you're honest with yourself and you say, I want to have the big results, I've been here 2 years, 3 years, you need to really double up, triple up exactly your efforts that you're doing today so that you can give that 10-time results tomorrow. And so what that brings you to is the last level of degree of action, which is called massive action. Now, massive action, this is basically where the ultimate breakthroughs happen. It's basically when you're really, really digging deep, and you're reflecting on your reason why you got started, and really painting a picture of your vision and where you see yourself going, where you want to be, and living in that time as it's actually already happened. And then when you have that vision, you basically create a purpose for yourself, a purpose for your business, as opposed to just kind of being wishy-washy, And that strong vision and that massive action, it really becomes to be like, a lot of people can duplicate that on your team, because people love that energy. They love that vibe from you. And when leaders have some type of vision, you'll notice that your team actually want to follow you. You become more attractive because people like to follow people who have vision. vision, who know where they're going, as opposed to someone who's just in the game, dibble-dabbling, a little wishy-washy. If you're like that, you're going to attract other people who are wishy-washy. You know, so you have to have that bigger, larger vision, that strong reason why, to propel you forward in your business. And to make that happen, it's the fourth stage of degree of action, which is called the massive action, to give you not just the results, but all the success that you're needing a lot quicker than the average 90% that most people do with just doing the bare minimum, basically, to move their business forward. So that's some things you need to think about with the various types of teammates you're going to have on your team. You know, the ones who are just, you know, making excuses all the time. Then you have the other ones who kind of go into retreat and are just totally scared. Then we have the 90% who are they're doing they're in the game, but they complain that they're still not getting results because they're doing the slow and steady wins the race thing, which is okay. But if you are honest with yourself, you really want the big success, the massive success, and you want it like today, you need to put in the massive action, which is the last degree. And so just really understanding where your team lives and being able to advise them the necessary steps to get them to that next level that they need, that they want to go, okay? And I was listening to a training recently as well by Ray Higdon, and it was kind of on the same topic. He's talking about the different desire levels of your team and just understanding that the majority of the team, you know, a lot of people are comfortable. You know, they may say, some may say that I want to make six figures and things like that, but not everybody in your team wants to be a top earner. Some people, actually a lot of people, he mentioned, a lot of people are very comfortable with just the $500 to $1,000, you know, each month. That's just being comfortable, you know, and they're okay with that. So we need to accept that. We need to not just look down and frown upon our team who are okay with that type of income, because not everybody will want to be a six-figure income. There's only a small percentage, you know, that actually on your team that actually want to reach that type of income level. And so just meet your team where they're at, and don't, you know, kind of frown upon them if they're not actually meeting the expectations that you want. Because if you do, and they feel that, wow, I'm not really meeting up to the expectations that Michelle has set out for our team, so you know something, I'm not feeling comfortable, so I'm actually going to turn around and just throw in the towel and leave. You know, that's what they'll do. Because we have to understand that even when we bring on team members with getting started, they may be in the business, but they may not actually be wanting to actually just earn the big income. They may just be really enjoying your service that you offer, or the product that you offer, or they may be just enjoying like the team calls, the trainings, the, you know, all of the, you know, the meetings, the conferences. They really enjoy that, and they like to be around all of that positivity. And some people just like to save the money, you know, and just use the thing. Some people like to actually have the home office tax deductions. There's various reasons why people stay in your business, and what dictates their action or not, you know. So we don't know the underlying thing, but it's good at that initial conversation when they get started to really just try to establish yourselves with that relationship with your team, and just kind of see where they are and meet them where they are and help them meet their expectations, as opposed to you kind of turning your expectations on them. You know, so if they say I want to do X, Y, and Z, you say, okay, this is the map to get you to X, Y, and Z. And if you follow this consistently, you'll meet it maybe around this time. You know, this is what's needed. As opposed to you saying, why are they not doing anything? You know, they need to be more motivated. I'm super pumped. I'm enrolling and sponsoring so many people. Why aren't they doing it? It's not for everyone. Not everybody wants to be at the top. Some people are okay with and comfortable where they are, or afraid of that success, or afraid of failure. So that's my message for you guys today. I thought this was definitely relevant, because I know a lot of people kind of struggle with how they can, you know, work with their team, and how to deal with the different type of personalities that they have on a team and their desire levels. And I felt like this really hit home for me when I was going through these trainings, and I figured it would serve you guys as well. So if you did enjoy this message, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, give it a heart, a like, a share. And if it did, go ahead and comment below the number 1, just so I know that this message did help you. And please share as well with a friend. All right, so this is my day 1 of the Facebook Live challenge I have going on with people in my organization. I'm super pumped and super excited. I'm looking forward to see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll talk soon. Bye now.